Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel and anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box below. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to want to get a shadow reading, and you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's good karma anyway, and you should just do it. But if you want to enter into winning a free reading, you have to do it. And then you have to write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video always is how I like to open my readings. Now, this reading is going to be for Pisces. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed, flip it, switch it, twist it. Just interpret the message as the best resonates with you. Never force anything, especially here, because like I said, we're looking at the blocks and the spiritual blocks, and we're seeing how they play out as karmic themes within your relationship. And we're also looking at how your person feels about you, obviously, and what they're going to do, and what all that good stuff that we always want to know, that the ego wants to know. We want to know if this person desires us, what they feel about us, because it makes us feel more secure, obviously, in a relationship, and that feeds the ego. But the spiritual stuff that we need to know in order to transcend any limitation, we need to know what the spiritual issues are. Otherwise, we'll never be able to break the karmic cycle. And there's nothing worse than being stuck in a karmic cycle with someone that you don't love or that you don't get along with anymore, that you just constantly trigger each other. That at one time you might have loved this person and you were crazy about them. But what happens is that if we don't heal the spiritual issue, it will keep arising within a relationship. And we have to heal it by seeing it from a different perception and then handling it through a different perception. That's how we break karmic cycles. Otherwise, we stay bound to a karmic, through like a karmic contract, where it's like on an unconscious level, we've agreed to spiritually play out this experience that keeps us in a place of lack, limitation, in a place of feeling not worthy, not good enough, not enough, in a place of real disempowerment. So no one wants to be in a place like this, because it's like there's no freedom. You don't have freedom. You don't have peace of mind, and you don't have freedom. And that is what creates spiritual sickness. And spiritual sickness is when you begin to not like yourself at all. And then your habits and your behaviorisms are in alignment with that. That's what addictions come from. Real hard addictions is staying stuck in a place of limitation, staying stuck in a shadow. So if you, again, you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word in your comment bar. The word is past life. It's actually two words. Okay. Now, past life obviously is like we all have many, many lifetimes. And when we're talking about lifetime, were you the same person? No, it's that you were a different person in these different lifetimes. But there's also different lifetimes within a person's life, one life. And I'll give you an example. That's like when we grow up in a family, and that family might have been really imbalanced, might have been, came from broken home, maybe a place of addiction, whatever it is. And that was, the family that you grew up in, you with your mother, your father, your sisters, your brothers, the immediate nucleus family. But then we all grow up and we all tend to go our separate ways. Sometimes, if you're lucky, those relationships get to stay together and they grow, and they, and the way that God had intended, that we were supposed to be able to feel supported by our immediate family forever throughout our life, or as till they lived, right? Well, when there's spiritual wounds, and we are born into a family that's imbalanced, it's because in a past life we didn't learn certain spiritual lessons. So this is saying that you incarnated into the world with spiritual blocks, and those spiritual blocks come in the form of issues, obviously, in relationships and finances, because past life karmic mate is also what I'm feeling. And so this is a story of a past life karmic mate that you are connected to. And this person, you know, from a past life is coming in to this life to help you heal the same spiritual lessons that played out in a karmic theme from that actually happened in a past life, but now happened in this life, and that's the life, the first life of that you grew up in with your family, to heal that, your ancestral karma. And so your ancestral karma obviously is habits and behaviorisms that your parents inherited from their ancestors that have been handed down. So when healing hasn't occurred ever, what you have is an abundance of healing that needs to be done. Because again, situations and experiences make us form behaviorisms and habits. And that makes us see things from a certain perception, which keeps us locked in to a karmic um a, a karmic theme of disempowerment, a place of lack. So there's really only two energies, love and fear. And love is the spirit part of self. That's the God part of self, the part that's felt as empathy and sensitivity. And so we're always supposed to come from this place of consciousness, the higher self, the God part of self. However, we are all born into families that we've inherited past life karmic debt and from our ancestors as well as our own. So, and then obviously collectively, what's going on within the planet. So I feel like you're in a place where you have to heal. Like you're here to break those generational karmic contracts, karmic blocks that have kept your ancestors in a place of disempowerment. And you know this. I'm feeling like you know this. And this karmic mate that you're attracted to is a past life karmic mate. And I feel like they are on the same, they're actually playing the same role that you are. They're here to break their karmic debt. And I'm feeling the way that they would have to do it is through you. And that's through, again, forming a, I can talk, forming a balanced relationship. And when I say balanced, that a lot of times when we're connected to a past life karmic mate, we have a person that is always coming from their ego. They're always coming from a place of trying to elevate themselves. They're looking at life through a very distorted perception. And that's because everyone that has an ego, everybody has an ego, but the ego forms masks where those wounds are. So our consciousness doesn't want to look at the wound and disempowerment. The consciousness that's the ego wants to look at ourselves through the mask. It wants other people to perceive us through the mask. So that obviously would be a problem if you met this person and they showed you the mask and you believed that that the mask was truly who they were. So I'm kind of feeling like you met this person when they were wearing a mask. Now we're going to see why I just channeled that, how the cards play out. And we're going to look and see, obviously, if this is a past life karmic mate. Why did you attract this person? What were the spiritual lessons that you needed to learn? What are the shadows that you formed? And how to integrate everything, because once you integrate the spiritual lesson, you shift the energy altogether. So if this is a past life karmic mate that is coming in to union with you because they have an internal knowing that you're supposed to be in their life, they may not know the reason why, but they feel very familiar to you and vice versa, then it means that they need to learn, like, to be different. And you also would need to learn to be different in your approach to this person, because I feel as if they can trigger you a lot. Now, it's important to know that the triggers are important because they make you look at you. It first makes you a lot of times look at the other person. But then once you can say, wait a minute, this is a spiritual situation, because when we're looking at the shadows, we have to not take it personally. We have to say, this is a spiritual situation. This person's teaching me something. What is it that I need to heal within myself? So once you heal it, you change the full dynamic of your situation. So either the contract is broken and you no longer are attracted to that person, and vice versa, because you're not gonna, like, it's an energetic thing. It's not just an attraction thing when it's a spiritual connection. And the energetic thing is created from the emotion. So once you see someone and you see them with all their flaws, you're probably going to, like, obviously, like, and you heal, you're going to look at them through like almost like disgust. So that's why you wouldn't have those feelings. Or that forces the person to heal themselves, because past life karmic mate, there is this unconditional love, there is this bond. So it can go either way. You are the first thing on my mind when I wake up in the morning. So I believe that this person has tried to stop thinking about you, but I feel like they're in a place of like obsessing about you because you cut your energy off. So that's usually what happens when, you always think about that person as soon as you wake up, and then during the day you tap into that person. They have definitely formed an energetic cord to you, where I feel like you can actually feel when they're tapped into you. I ran away because I felt I couldn't live up to your needs and expectations. But I feel like this person does tend to come from a place of limitation, but they also weren't coming from a real balanced place, because I don't really feel like you had a lot of expectations. I feel as if you trigger this person, and because they perceive your life to be a certain way, and then they don't put the time or the effort in to really get to know you. And then when you would ask for something coming from a place of inferiority, a lot of times I feel like they just like would get triggered, would think that you're like trying to control them, that you're trying to like manipulate them, that you're asking for too much. And it's like because they wanted to do everything on their terms. But what they're saying is it doesn't matter that they ran away, that they still have feelings. Please don't give up on me. I feel like they're trying to figure it out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like this person really knows like how to be in a good relationship. Still not really telling me, can we start over? So they want to start over. Okay. I was like, you're still not telling me anything, okay. So then I want to look at a few of their hidden truths before we actually look at the shadows, because it's like, okay, they do want to start over, but we will be together again. So they really truly believe that you're going to be with them. You came closer to me than anyone, and because of that, they cannot get over you. They're like, you were right here. You were right here. And it's like, and I let you slip right through my fingers. I let you slip right through my fingers. And so it's like, I feel like they sat there, but it's like they love you. And that's really the energy. It's like, I feel as if there's, they feel so much emotions and then they don't know how to express themselves that they freeze. And then they are very slow to act, very slow to move. And so there's a sense of overstimulation. There's a sense of fear. There's a sense of all that. I am intimidated by you. And that's what I kept feeling. I said, this person's inferior. They're inferior, but I don't know why, because I don't feel like they put in the effort. I just feel as if they're perceiving you as if like you have this grandiose life, that everything is so easy for you and everything is so hard for them. And so I feel like they do love you, but there is this energy that I don't like, and it's almost like jealousy, um, like wanting the elements that you have, like wanting the characteristics that you have that makes you so appealing to other people. They don't feel like they're appealing to other people. And if you're coming from a place of lack, you would never like be able to inspire anybody. And I feel like for a lot of you, Pisces, you're just out in the public eye. And that doesn't necessarily even mean that it's your job. For some of you, you might be like in your spare time. I like to do karaoke. Like, I really feel like somebody likes to play karaoke or get up and do comedy or get up and you're invested in your life, and there's a love for life that people see that you have. And so there's this inner light that you have that shines out, that makes people be attracted to you, which makes them think that life is easier for you, because they always see you with other people helping you and they're over there like by themselves. But that's because they're coming from a place of lack. Again, I need time. And then so there's still a sense of procrastination and delay, and that's because they're not on your vibration, but they're trying to figure it out. And that is what I like. I do like the fact that they're taking the time to really think about what they like, and where I feel like this person's never put in that much time, which is part of the problem. It's like if you come from a place of inferiority, a place of lack, limitation, what you'll find is very little do you put in the amount of effort needed to acquire success, whether that's within obtaining a job, whether that's creating something, or whether that's being in a successful relationship, that you have to be open and vulnerable. And this person knows that. And I think because they have such strong feelings for you, they get very overstimulated. And so they need the extra time to process. They have a spiritual block, obviously, when it comes to relationships. Finances are a problem. So I'm also feeling for some of them, they got out of a relationship, or that they're just getting out of a relationship. And I feel like that relationship crushed them. Crushed them. I feel as if they put a lot of time, a lot of effort into something, and they were taken for a ride. So they want to come towards you, but their sense of a feel of lack, and maybe that's a large part of why they feel intimidated, because they see that you go out and you do things and you're interactive in life, and then they don't have the money now to like go and do those things also. And I feel like the last person that they were with really took them for a ride, and that really hurts your self-esteem. And they approached you almost as if you were that person that they were with. And not that they obviously know you're not that person, but when dealing with someone that's abusive, someone that doesn't care about your feelings, someone that is a user, which is what this feels like, what winds up happening is look through every single relationship like that. You need to like heal. And that's what this person needs to do. They need to heal the perceptions, clear the perceptions from that past relationship, because they'll always give too little and really be on guard and never be able to attract anything coming from a place of fear and inferiority. Is that that's how the reading started. Out of sync. Again, they don't feel as if they connect to anybody. They feel as if that everybody that if everyone's going left, they're going right. They just that they're a square peg in a circle trying to go be in a circle hole, that they just don't fit in. But I feel as if the last person that they were in a relationship made them feel this way. So unfortunately, this person needs to heal before they can get into another relationship. Otherwise, they are always going to look at themselves as if there's something wrong with them. They're always going to come from a place of inferiority. I mean, how do we heal? By doing different things, by being around different people, we get to see a different version of ourselves. And then when we hear by a lot of other people how great and wonderful we are, then we say, well, maybe like it's not, there's nothing wrong with me. Maybe I've been around the wrong types of people, which is what I feel like your person's been around the wrong types of people. Reaching, like again, like there's like a sense of like for a long time too, they knew what they should do, and instead of doing it, they made excuses. They made excuses to avoid, hoping that you would reach out to them, hoping that they would bump into you, hoping that somebody else would come in to like maybe you have a mutual friend would bring you up or bring you by or do something. And so again, all because they were inferior. And again, manipulation. And so that instead of trying to really navigate the relationship through the heart, this person tries to strategize. And because they feel inferior, they don't feel safe. So what winds up happening is they come across extremely manipulative, that not just manipulative, but like all over the place. Like you're insecure, but then you act like you have a big ego because you strategize, and like you're never in your body. And that's why they don't feel like they fit in anywhere. That's why they feel like they're out of sync, because you don't if you don't feel strong within yourself and you try to live from that persona part of yourself, your actions and your behaviorisms are always going to be overcompensating or undercompensating. So this person was very undercompensating when it came to you because you intimidate them, but they're not looking at their life through the correct perception. They're looking at their life through somebody else's perceptions. And that's what trauma does. That's why it's really important to make sure that you're surrounded by the right types of people. And you can know if you're surrounded by the right types of people by how you feel. If people don't make you feel good, then that's a sign, clearly. So you have to say, well, why would you attract a person like this into your life? Because they want to come back. They think that they're coming back. And it's just they're very slow to act. We say, what happened? Well, they don't really feel like they fit in anywhere. They feel like there's something wrong with them. It would have been much easier for them to walk away from this connection because of their feeling of inferiority and inadequacy. But they can't. That proves to you that love is what? It's the magic pill. It's healing. It makes us do what we wouldn't normally do. It gives us the courage to do things that we wouldn't do. And that's what I feel like, it's changing your person's heart. But they're very slow to act. But that's not because they don't care. That's because they're too strategizing, like trying to figure out what they should do, which comes across as very manipulative and kind of annoying, because it's like, just be true. Just be true to you. This person's like, no, I can't be true to me because you're not going to like that version. No, we don't like this version. We don't like this version. It's like, we would like your other version. It's like that's how the people in their environment have control. And even if they're not with that person anymore, many times we can grow up in an environment that someone makes us feel inferior and then go out our entire lifetime where meanwhile our parents might have died when we were like 10, and here we are 80 years old still coming from that level of consciousness because we don't do anything different. We're too afraid. And that is what I see here, that your person was really, 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 really afraid. And they're still afraid. It's just love is kind of seeping its way in, you know? It's like we think that we can control love, but we can't. And then what you'll feel is a lot of frustration and a lot of, and that's because this person would really rather not feel at all. But the truth of the matter is that they feel too much. And it's because they've been hurt and they're like, I don't know which way I should come and go, and I'm confused, and fuck this. This is like, and that's what soul relationships do. It makes us feel uncomfortable because we don't have control over who we fall in love with, you know? So we have to ask again, nurturance. So again, we have to ask why you pulled in this person to your life. And really, it's nurturing is all about giving to yourself. So if you were looking for this person to give you the love that you weren't giving yourself, well, that's against spiritual law. Because God says, me first, I'm a jealous God, that's do you first. That means that you feed yourself, you create yourself, you go out there and be like childlike and create yourself. It only takes a mustard seed. I'll make that multiply. The universe will always bring you the people, situations, and experiences that are going to change your mind and heart, that are going to help you evolve into the best version of yourself. And so you have to do this for yourself. You are the marker for this person. They are a past life karmic mate, but it depends on how you play it. It doesn't have to go bad. It won't go bad if you nurture yourself, because if you nurture yourself, you'll be giving yourself the love. You'll be showing this person, oh, that's the key. I'm being a little bit overthinking because I'm needy. I'm wounded. I don't know how to heal. So it's again, they have feelings for you. Love is healing. Now, if you nurture them, that's going to be a wound because you didn't get nurtured yourself in order to attract this person in childhood. It's like, I didn't get the nurturing I needed. And that might mean your parents were busy. Maybe a parent was sick. Maybe there was just a dynamic that there was a lot of shit going on. It doesn't mean that everyone was abusive. You could be a highly sensitive person. I'm a highly sensitive person. And even if you gave me enough, it still wouldn't be enough because that's just the way that I am. It's like, I'm going to tend to be that. So what gives it is when we go out and we fill our own cup up and it overflows. And then we're able to give out whatever is overflown without there being a big gaping hole missing from where we gave, because that person that we're connected to couldn't give us. So this person can't give you anything because they're like blind trying to figure out how to navigate the relationship. So this relationship is teaching you how to nurture yourself, but that you didn't get that in childhood. But in that, you're teaching this person that they'll have to do that for themselves too, which actually heals codependent relationships. Now, it's not uncommon if you grew up with parents that were codependent, they weren't able to nurture you. It meant that one person was usually emotionally, did all the emotional work in the family, and the other person kind of was there. And it didn't mean that they didn't love, they just didn't, that wasn't their strong point. Their strong point was to go out and make money. And so they always were out making money. So then you had one parent that was running the show, and there wasn't really a union. It was kind of fragmented. There was a lot of tension in the family because emotional needs were not being met. So again, growing up, inheriting that, on top of that, karma is the ancestral karma that you grew up with, that you inherited, which is why you attracted this person to begin with, that's not secure. But it's not that they wouldn't be secure, they would be, but they've been in bad relationships, and this past relationship was a doozy. So they are completely overthinking, trying to strategize, which kind of makes them look like an asshole sometimes, because like, what the hell are you doing? But spiritual issues will make a person seem like that. So, but bottom line is, they wanted to walk away, they can't walk away. There's still feelings there. They don't want them to be feelings there. They would much rather not deal with it, but love makes us do what we wouldn't do. Again, source, and this all to bring you back to source. And what is source? Source is God, God consciousness, Christ consciousness. When God comes again, it's through the consciousness of man. So when we love, right? When we become the vibration of love, well, that's when we're actually in Christ consciousness, that we are in the highest state. And that means that we have to look at things with compassion. We have to have forgiveness, obviously, with this person, right? And so maybe you didn't get the love and the nurturing that you needed growing up. So it'd be, and that would, you'd hold a little resentment for that. You'd say, well, my life is a little X, Y, and Z because I didn't get what I needed. That's usually what happens when we have wounds. We tend to, the ego gets involved and says, well, we got to put it somewhere and it's not going to be on us. So we're going to say it's got to be that person. But the higher self, the God part of self, knows and says, that happened like really long time ago, and you're still carrying around that baggage. That's affecting your relationships. You need to again handle your situation differently. Otherwise, you're gonna keep attracting people that you feel like just don't connect. And you're then that's gonna make you feel as if that there's something wrong with you. When really, when you nurture yourself, whether this person will either stand up and change, which is what I see that they want to do, but you will also attract new people to you. Because when you give yourself the love, you become the vibration of love. You become a magnet for things and people and situations that hold that same energy to you, which is how you evolve out of a limited state of consciousness and quantum jump into the reality that you want. I'm going to leave that there, Pisces. If you resonated with this message, and if you're not a Pisces and you resonated with this message, well, then let me know. And don't forget to write the word past life in your comment bar to win your free reading. And I'll talk to you all soon.